Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for October 2nd, 2014, Thursday morning around 7:27 in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a dreary day to start off, some rain showers, but it's supposed to clear up later on today. But these are much beneficial rain because September was a very, very dry month. And some news to report: the San Francisco Giants beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in the National League wildcard game by a score of 8-0. Very, very shocked that the Pirates scored no runs. They had momentum going into this game. They were on a hot streak while the Giants were, backing into the wild card. But it's all about pitching, and Madison Bumgarner pitched a great game. And they face off against the Washington Nationals in the NLDS beginning Friday, and beginning today is the American League Division Series on TBS. 6:05 is the Detroit Tigers against the Baltimore Orioles. Brian Anderson, Dennis Eckersley, and Joe Simpson will call that game. And at 9:37 is the Royals against the Angels. Ernie Johnson and Ron Darling and Cal Ripken Jr. will call that game. If the Tigers-Orioles game goes longer, goes in past 9:30, then the start of the Royals-Angels game will start on TNT. And 36 years ago today was the infamous home run hit by New York Yankees shortstop Bucky Dent, that in the American League Eastern Division playoff game that the Yankees beat the Red Sox to win the AL East in 1978, and the Red Sox blew a 14-game lead over the Yankees in midseason. And that's about it on that. And my next subject is my continuation series of the top 10 things of all time about anything and everything. I've reached the top 10 greatest Major League Baseball pitchers of all time, currently not in the Hall of Fame, and these players have been eligible. And this is an impressive list. Some pitchers weren't left off because this is one of the most impressive lists I've ever done so far. This is the best of the best of the best of the best. Okay? The number 10 pitcher of all time, Major League pitcher, who's not in the Hall of Fame, is New York Yankees pitcher Ron Guidry. He pitched for the Pinstripe for 13 years, have a 170-91 record, 3.29 ERA, 1,778 strikeouts. He was a dominant pitcher for many years. He won the 1978 AL Cy Young. He won 25 games that year, and he also won 20 games again in 1985. He was probably one of the best Yankee pitchers in the 70s and 80s. His number 49 is retired by the team, and he should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but his stats were not really impressive enough to warrant Hall of Fame consideration by the writers. But he has more wins than Sandy Koufax. He should be a Hall of Famer, but he's not on a. He was dropped from the Hall of Fame ballot maybe the third year because he did not get the necessary 5% of the votes. He comes in at number 10. Number 9 on the all-time list is Curt Schilling. Curt Schilling won 216 games, 146 losses, 3.46 ERA, 3,116 strikeouts. He pitched for the Orioles, the Astros, the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, and the Red Sox. He was a great postseason pitcher. He won 20 games a couple of times. He was a runner-up for the Cy Young twice, and he has the stats to be in the Hall of Fame, but since he's been on the ballot, he's garnered less than 30% of the votes, which that's not great. He comes in at number 9. Number 8 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball pitchers of all time, not in the Hall of Fame. Dan Quisenberry, a relief pitcher, 56-46 record, 2.76 ERA, 244 saves. He pitched 12 seasons in the big leagues with the Royals and Cardinals. He was a dominant reliever from 1980 to 1985, and he was consistently saving 40 games a year for the Royals and stuff like that. Very dominant relief pitcher, and 40 saves a year was the high mark of saves. He was so dominant. He should be a Hall of Famer, but 1996 was the only time he was on the ballot. he got the less than 5% of the votes. He got voted off and then passed away in 1988 at the age of 45 of a brain cancer. That's very sad. But you know, he should be a Hall of Famer posthumously. The Veterans Committee should take a look at him and vote him in the next time he's eligible. Number 7 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball pitchers of all time not in the Hall of Fame, Dennis Martinez, who pitched for the Orioles, the Expos, the Indians, the Braves, and the Mariners. 245 wins, 193 losses, 3.70 ERA, 2,149 strikeouts. Dennis pitched a perfect game in 1991. He has the most wins of any Latin American player pitcher of all time, but he only got little support when he was on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2004 at less than 5%. He's no longer eligible for the writers, that he could go on the Veterans Committee, and he should, because he has the most wins ever for a Latin American pitcher, and he probably will. He comes in at number 7. Number 6 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball pitchers not in the Hall of Fame, Mike Mussina. 270 wins, 153 losses, 3.68 ERA, 2,813 strikeouts, and consistent winner. And he pitched for the Orioles and the Yankees. He was run up for Cy Young a few times. The last season he pitched in big leagues, 2008, he won 20 games. And the last pitcher to win 20 games in his final year was the great Sandy Koufax in 1966. And Sandy Koufax isn't in the Hall of Fame. Mike Mussina should be in, but he got less than 20. He got about 20% of the vote in 2014. First time in the Hall of Fame ballot. He has 9 more twice. He'll probably he'll get in somehow. Number 5 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball players of all time, baseball pitchers of all time, not in the Hall of Fame, John Franco, who was a closer for the Reds, the Mets, and Astros, 90 and 87 record, 2.89 ERA, 975 strikeouts, 424 saves. He was the Mets captain for many years, dominant reliever, and he has so many saves. He says he was one of the dominant closers in his day and stuff like that. But when he got on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2011, no support. He gets dropped from the ballot. But 424 saves, that should warrant Hall of Fame consideration. And maybe the Veterans Committee will put John Franco on the ballot and he'll get voted in. He should be a Hall of Famer. Number 4 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball pitchers of all time, not in the Hall of Fame, Jack Morris. Jack Morris, 254 wins, 186 losses, 3.90 ERA, 2,478 strikeouts. He pitched for the Tigers, Twins, Blue Jays, and Indians during his career. A good postseason pitcher, won 20 games a few times, and was a dominant pitcher. But what's a knock about him was he has a high ERA, and when he was on the Hall of Fame ballot for 15 years, he got maybe over 50% of the vote towards the end, but was not enough. When he's eligible by the Veterans Committee in 2016, he's going to definitely get in. They're going to write it on. And he comes in at number 4. Number 3 on the all-time list of greatest Major League pitchers not in the Hall of Fame, Jim Cott. Jim Cott played 24 seasons in Major League pitched 24 seasons in Major League Baseball with the Senators/Twins, White Sox, Yankees, Cardinals, and a couple of other teams. 283 wins, 237 losses, 3.45 ERA, 2,461 strikeouts 16 times. He was a Gold Glove winning pitcher, and he was on the way to 300 games, but towards the end of his career, he was moved from starting pitcher to the bullpen, which that probably hurt his chances to make the Hall of Fame. In the 15 years he was on the ballot, Jim Cott did not get more than 35% of the vote, which was very disappointing because he should be a Hall of Famer, and maybe the Veterans Committee will vote on him one of these days. He should be in. Number 2 on the all-time list of greatest Major League Baseball pitchers of all time not in the Hall of Fame, Lee Arthur Smith. 71 and 92 record, 3.31 .03 ERA, 478 saves, 1,251 strikeouts. 7 times he made the All-Star team. Pitched in 1,022 games. Lee Arthur Smith pitched for the Cubs, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, the Expos, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Angels during his career. Dominant closer. He held the save record from 1993 to 2006. He should be in a Hall of Fame, but the knock on that he has a losing record. And also, like, towards the end, he bounced around from team to team, and he's been on, like, he's only got over 50% of the Hall of Fame vote when he's been on the ballot maybe 2-3 times, and he has 3 more chances. He's not going to get in by the Hall of Fame writers. He's probably going to wait to the Veterans Committee, but he should be a Hall of Famer. And number 1 has the greatest Major League Baseball pitcher of all time, not in the Hall of Fame, the Rocket, Roger Clemens. 354 wins, 184 losses, 3.12 ERA, 4,672 strikeouts, 11 times he was pitched in the All-Star game. 7 times he won the Cy Young. He pitched for the Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees, and Astros, and he had a Hall of Fame career up to 1998. If his career ended in 1998, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then they said from 1999 through 2007, all of his numbers were inflated because of alleged PED use. But you know, he should be a Hall of Famer because he had the stats to prove it before all this PED stuff. And if he didn't use PEDs, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. But it's going to take some time for him, Roger Clemens, to go into the Hall of Fame. But eventually he will. Him and Bonds will be probably the only 2 who alleged with PED use getting into the Hall of Fame sooner or later, because the writers will like write it on, because I think everybody in most of the players in Major League Baseball during the steroid eras in the 90s and 2000s use something, in my opinion. That's my opinion, and I have to stick to that. It's not proved, but you know, you have to look at it this way. I think many of them use some sort of advantage. And that's about it on that. I'll be back later on today for 2 more video blogs. It will be about the cable network TNT and the Lowell Open Studios for Artists, which is this weekend. I'll tell you about this. The Personality Profile video blogs having another day off. You gotta rest it. You gotta rest some of them for maybe a few days, just like the top 10 thing. I took that day off, a day off for that. Maybe we'll get a day off during the weekend. Who knows? See you later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.